Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with a recent update from our 2023 Arnold Classic champion, Samson Dauda. And the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this update, honestly, was Nick Walker saying Samson's back is as flat as a board. And a lot of people really give Samson a hard time about his back. But I'll say it again, I believe Samson's back is improving. I believe his back looks better now than it did last year. And I can't really knock a guy who is making improvements. Now, something I did want to point out. In the last back update we talked about of Samson Dauda, a few of you guys in the comment section mentioned his left leg doesn't look as big as the right leg. Symmetry is thrown off a little bit, and you can really see that in the back double bicep. But I don't think this is going to hurt Samson Dauda as far as moving up from 6th place at this year's Olympia. Honestly, it's possible that Samson already had this imbalance, and I'm just catching on to it now somehow. But shout out to all of you guys for pointing that out in the comments of my last update of Samson Dauda. But I'm looking forward to seeing this guy on the Olympia stage, and I'm almost positive that Samson will be in that top 3, top 4 at this year's Olympia. Top 4 if Nick Walker has anything to say about it. Speaking of Nick Walker, we have a recent update from him at 16 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia. And actually, I've been really enjoying watching the Mutant in the Mouth podcast. You guys should go check it out. It's actually the only bodybuilding podcast I'm watching right now, and I find it interesting. On the last episode, Jose Raymond said he actually had Nick Walker winning the Arnold Classic, and he was there in person. But I'm not going to go too deep into that. We've talked about the Arnold Classic plenty, but I thought Jose's comment was interesting. Nick Walker is looking massive here as usual, still could use a little bit more sweep on the quads. Now let's switch over to Andrew Jacked, who is at Camp Psycho ahead of the Texas Pro. And let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about Psycho Lewis' style of training? It seems like every time I see him training with Andrew Jacked, he has him working out in a very different way from other bodybuilders. I wouldn't say it's bad, but just different. But I can say from what I saw at the Arnold Classic, it seems like the training of Psycho Lewis really works for Andrew Jacked. At the Arnold Classic, that's the most conditioned he's ever been. Now, I do think he lost a little bit of pop in the upper body, a little bit of wow factor, but conditioning was great. Christmas tree out of this world. Now let's switch over to Justin Shier, who recently posted up an update at about 1 week out of the Chicago Pro. And Justin is looking very, very impressive in these updates. And as you guys know, when I found out that Justin and Blessing were both doing the Chicago Pro, I was 100% sure that Blessing was going to win. But as we get closer to the show and I see more and more updates of Justin, I'm not really sure. But for some reason, I have a strange feeling Blessing Awodibu is going to look really good at the Chicago Pro. I could be way off, but I just have a feeling we're going to see a good version of Blessing. And let's switch over to Patrick Moore, who recently posted up some updates. If I'm not mistaken, Patrick was supposed to be at the Cali Pro, supposed to be at the Orlando Pro. Now he's supposed to be at the Chicago Pro. But based off what I'm looking at right here, I think it's going to be hard for Patrick to get a win in Chicago. He pulled out of Cali and pulled out of Orlando because he needed a little bit more time. But from what I'm seeing right here, he honestly looks to be downsized. Now let's switch over to Regan Grimes. I grabbed this update from his YouTube channel. I will drop the link in the description below. Regan Grimes will be competing in the Europa Pro against Good Vito and also Nathan Diasha. Good Vito has a knee injury, no telling how he's going to look. And we haven't seen Nathan since the 2021 Prague Pro, where Regan actually placed ahead of him. But Regan has had more than 1 year off from the bodybuilding stage, and we're all looking forward to seeing his improvements. Now let's switch over to Hassan Mostafa, who recently posted up an update ahead of the Vancouver Pro. Once again, Hassan is the favorite to win this show, but I'm pretty sure he actually will win this one. Only thing about it, if Hassan wins this show and goes to the Mr. Olympia, the Mr. Olympia is going to be his 4th show of the year. But let me slow down just a little bit. I'm already talking about how Hassan is going to do at the Mr. Olympia. Let's see how he's going to look at the Vancouver Pro, and then we'll talk more about Hassan going forward. Now let's switch over to Lionel Beyeke. I told you guys once we got better pictures, we would talk about Lionel. Now, Lionel was last place at the Portugal Pro, and to be honest, I have no idea why this guy continues to compete if he knows he's not going to bring a good package. Now, Lionel actually posted up this today, which I found very interesting. Never let what people's opinions and opinions guide your choices. Stand firm in your vision and above all have faith. When you know deep down everything is possible to the one that has faith. I'll fall 7 and I'll get up 8 times to keep doing this while my heart beats. Hashtag faith, vision, perseverance, motivation. Thank Lord Jesus, Team Beyeke, and God is big. And this is a very motivational caption, but I don't think it really applies to Lionel placing last place at the Portugal Pro. I mean, I could have seen if he placed second, placed third, but Lionel just isn't bringing good packages to the bodybuilding stage. Some people actually see this as disrespectful to be a pro and to show up to a pro stage looking like this. And in the caption that Lionel posted today, he said if he falls down 7 times, he's going to get up 8. So I guess we can expect to see Lionel Beyeke compete more often. Now let's switch over to Keone Pearson, who posted another update at 5 weeks out from the Texas Pro. And Keone actually posted this on his story and he said, "This is the year." Does he mean this is the year he's going to win the 212 Olympia and knock out Sean Clarita? Or is this just going to be the year he brings his absolute best? And for 5 weeks out, this is great conditioning. If Keone wanted to, he could probably jump into the Chicago Pro and get his qualification a little bit early. But it looks like his eyes are set on the Texas Pro. Now let's switch over to John Jewitt, another 212 bodybuilder. John will be competing this weekend at the Atlanta Pro. Now he was going to compete in Chicago, but he got ready a little bit early. Actually, John thought about going up to open, but he said he's at his best at around 215, so he figured he might as well cut down to 212. Now, after Atlanta, we're not sure what's going to happen. But John is a very conditioned bodybuilder, extremely conditioned, and I believe he can be at the top 6 at the 212 Olympia. But of course, it's possible he goes to open after this show. Now, let's switch over to Stephane Matala. The update on the left is recent. The pictures on the right are finally images from the Portugal Pro. And Stephane posted the video on the left and said it's not over yet. He's still working. And honestly, I hope he's working on switching to another division. He looks incredible from the front in classic physique. But just my personal opinion, he isn't going to be competitive with the top 10 guys from the side or from the back. And he's already at his weight cap. He can't really make improvements. So I hope this guy ends up switching divisions. And even though I'm saying this guy should go to another division, I believe he does have a really classic physique, but I think he needs improvements to be a top 10 Olympian in classic, and it's very hard to make improvements when you're already at the top of your weight cap. Now let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below who is this bodybuilder. And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from GOAT Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.